Are you ready?
To rumble!
Oh, let's get real.
So for this documentary, me and Ben decided to do a little documentary on JDM lifestyle. Now, what JDM stands for is Japanese Domestic Market, and that's all like based on Japanese cars like Nissan, Honda, Toyota, Suzuki, and many more. But for our documentary, quite a lot of news recently have been posting up like what like car meets are doing recently, and they're trying to put a bad name on this little JDM lifestyle scene for us people. So this documentary that we're doing, we're just gonna like put it clear, like we don't do none of the things that the news would people that post up. So let's just get straight to it here. Now our initial ideas, we also come up with ideas like such as tattoos. We thought about interviewing tattoo artists around London. We thought gather the other people's inspirations, the styles and designs that the artists do, and the history behind it. That was for tattoo, and then we got for cars. We thought about doing modifications, what other people do to them. Not a lot of people like to keep their car clean and stock. Some people like to put spoilers.
Add their own like personification onto their own cars, so yeah.
Make it stand out and be unique. You got public and private events. With public events, anyone can turn up. Police can turn up, we'll still be fine. You got underage kids can turn up, still be fine. You do have some idiots that do turn up, but then they normally get kicked out as soon as they appear. For private events, these private events you have to pay for. So you have a minimum charge fee, maximum going up to £20, and it could range from 1,000 to 2,000 people in one car park or in a big field. Now for food, who doesn't like food? I like food. Ben likes food. You guys might like food. So we thought all types of food, healthy or non-healthy, choices. Public shops that are open. There's some events that are like open
for healthier options for food, like they'll offer public events to see or taste test on say other varieties of food that would help, or like it wouldn't have such a negative effect on other people. But yeah, that's what they have. For these are both our ideas, say for fashion, technology, and gaming. We both felt inclined to come together and see what ideas we can come together. Say I felt like I draw towards the gaming the most because that's where my knowledge comes more into, but we both felt that cars was an industry that we both had knowledge for. We both still have a passion for cars. We decided that from this step we'll go on to making our own initial ideas and then develop it from there. This is my initial ideas for cars. I wanted to base it on say car modifications and tuning. I wanted to see more about the artistic style behind modifications and stuff. But from there's say tuning, like car engine tuning to get more power from it, or say fuel efficiency. And then from there, getting more power would lead to street racing and legal racing. So then there's that crime issue there. The strengths of say going into the car industry would be it's easier to find meets or gatherings that like promote car tuning or modifications of the body. A weakness would be say getting people to actually interview. Some people are say camera shy, so getting around that might be an issue. An opportunity from this would be to say like inform the public. It will be having this as a platform to say promote to an audience is quite beneficial. We could say inform an audience of what there is behind car tuning. They might just think, oh, we just whack on a body kit, whack on an exhaust and that's it. There's more behind that. And a threat would be say we have to be say objective. We can't be biased. We would have to say eliminate our own opinions from our documentary. That might be difficult because me and Jim, we have strong opinions when it comes to car modification and tuning on, say, preferences to car manufacturers. But yeah, this is my initial idea.
Now we both come up with this little developed idea. Now for this one, because I own a specific manufacturing car, Honda for life. And then Ben also has a little interest for Hondas as well, so we thought we both do a little documentary on Honda cars, and it's mostly on nowadays that most people do meets based on Hondas. So a lot of Honda Civics, Honda Preludes, Honda Integras, you got many different type of Hondas that turn up to meets. And for my idea that I came up with, I thought when I come up with this one, there's a meet coming up around the corner. So I thought that the best time to like go get some test footage with Ben, we went there and had a little chat with other people. But obviously, some people, they like to be interviewed. They like to keep their modification on a down low. They don't want other people knowing what they've done to their car. They don't want people knowing what's under their hood, basically. Slang way of saying it. But there's people that are out there who do modify their car to stand out. So you've got guys that are like they'll modify their cars to like be extreme. So you have a bright yellow car with chrome wheels, and you've got a big body kit, big exhaust, loud sound. They'll leave the engine hood up for you to come around and look at. And they'll stand around the car, let you look at the car, and ask any question you want. So there is people like that out there. Now the strengths in this documentary that we have is that people do like have a lot of things to say about their cars. So they'll talk about like the turbos, superchargers. They talk about intercoolers,
ECUs, everything.
ECUs. You could talk about like what exhaust you got. You got like this brand exhaust, that brand exhaust. This is louder. That sounds deeper. That sounds like a girl's high pitched voice. So there's that. For opportunities on this is that we want to like show people like we don't race underground. We don't crash our cars. We don't.
There's a lot of bad stereotypes when it comes to say JDM or car tuning.
Yeah.
So we want to try correct this. There is say a negative impact on car tunings, but that's due to say some idiotic drivers. I don't know how they get their licenses, but yeah, that's due to them.
In some meets, there's guys that are just not meant to be there. They'll just come around the corner, they start drifting, they start showing off their car, trying to show off. And sometimes it does end up bad. It does like ruin the reputation for other people, saying like they drift, they crash. That gets a letter to the police shuts us down, and that makes like other people like
it's a bad image.
Yeah, it loses the other like new drivers. Like for me, it's like it makes me like really sad to see like meets getting shut down. Like you don't get to go to them. But luckily, that's not happened yet, and we hope it won't happen after showing this documentary. The weaknesses in this, owners, quite a lot of owners like will turn us down. Majority of owners don't like to flash their cars. They don't want to show people what they got. Like I said before, like they keep it on a down low. They don't show you what they got because they're stingy like that. They don't want people copying what they got just to gain horsepower.
There's a lot of copycats.
Yeah. The threat for this, now, like I said before, the threats are idiotic drivers. You've got guys that could come up out of nowhere, ruin the whole thing, shut the whole meet down just by doing something wrong. And that could cause, obviously, the police. Once the police gets involved, that's it, game over. No more meets in the whole of London, possibly, because of dumb drivers drifting, ruining the property. Now, whilst we've developed our ideas, we've also gathered research from different types of forums, should I say. And forums is what the Honda forums are basically based on. People who own Hondas go into the forum, sign up, and they talk about events, they talk about cars, they talk about parts. So if anyone has any problems with your car, you could just go onto the website, you search it up, and they'll tell you
any issues
that needs to be
they'll resolve it. They're we want to really show how not happy, but they're really inclined to say communicate with each other. It's a tight knit group. Yeah. We're not out here to say destroy the streets or whatever, claim it's ours. But it's more say coming together and just speaking, sharing ideas, sharing thoughts, trying to improve all of that.
Yeah. And that's just basically that. We also got some footage of what Hondas there are, what meets there is. And what happens when you don't go by the law of the meet, you get kicked out.
We covered this in Jim's initial idea. From Jim's initial idea, we developed it into our final idea. So this project will be based on a UK version of the JDM trend. In America, the JDM trend has been growing rapidly. It's been growing from I think 15 years ago when it first started to kick off, and then that's when it started to progress. The UK is quite far behind, but in being far behind, we're still up to date. They've gone through the whole phase, and we're, say, keeping up with them. Like, they've gone through, say, the bads to the worst, and we know what not to do. It's like, I don't know what phrase to use, but they've gone through the worst. We're gonna progress from that, and then we'll go together. Yeah.
JDM covers a wide variety of car ranges. Like I said in the beginning, you got like Hondas, you got Toyotas, and JDM basically means a Japanese scene. So all Japanese cars can turn up. You also get German cars, but they're not really in the main section. They get to the side. But mainly Japanese cars get involved, and you get just like experience about what the Japanese culture of the cars are. Yeah. And this is just like a short documentary that someone made before that we found. So we just play that for a good 1 minute.
Pull out the plug. Earphone jack. That comes with that.
It's pure enthusiasm and passion.
Yeah, we're doing millionaires, but that's what we do. We love it, don't we?
Yeah. It's a really weird thing in the UK, yeah? It's not like America. America, we all try to build our cars for what we want to. But because UK is quite small, and the community is a lot more close-knit, a lot of people knows everyone. And, you know, it's one of those things where we all help each other out, and we all point each other in the direction, and you will always notice sometime on the forum and things like that someone said they passed away, and the pass away is mourned by the whole forum, which many have not ever met each other in real life, but the feeling of loss is universal. So I say, honestly, the whole UK scene is much more close knit, and it's really like family that even though you've never met the person, you don't know them, you will still feel for them.
One of the things I'm quite grateful about being a Honda owner is the number of friends I've been able to meet. Put aside friendship, it's a lot of nice people as well, downhearted, very humble, good-hearted people.
You meet a lot of good people, it's kind of friendly. Anyone out there will offer advice, same as I'll try and help anyone I can. Meets are good, there's enough shows now. I mean, sort of back in the day there was only Jack Show, and maybe Jack Fest the Castle Scene, but now there's such a wide variety of shows, you can pretty much see and do anything now you want with your car at a show, a track day or whatever, so that's really good.
When I was building my take, we used to go up to...
Let's not listen to him because he just carries on forever. But as you can see, like what they were saying, like the community is really tight. Because at the beginning, UK is just like a small scene, so everyone, like from Jackfest, everyone's like a close like family bond. So from the forums, you already got a mutual bond from talking to other people, communicating with people, finding out like what you can do to your car and stuff. So from that, it progressed on to like someone opening a meet. When opening a meet, everyone wants to go. Like they want to see someone's face to face instead of talking behind like a little internet screen. So after that, that's slowly becoming like a big scene now in the UK. So hopefully, after this documentary, we could like show like other people, newcomers, to expand the meets, make it bigger, and have a good time really. Target audience is...
For our target audience, we decided to go and aim it towards males. This is a stereotypical statement, but for this type of industry or project, males, like the male audience will overpowers the females. Like the ratio is quite big, but just because we're aiming towards males doesn't mean that we're excluding the female audience. for example, say Top Gear may be, say, aimed towards males, but there are a lot of female viewers that still watch it. But say if it was vice versa and it was aimed towards females, a lot of men won't be inclined to, say, watch the program. We decided to age it between 16 and 25 with a social class of E to C1. We want to aim it towards succeeders and aspirers. The aspirers will be those between 16 and 20, and the succeeders will be from 20 to 25. The reason being, from when you're 16, you can't really drive, or you can legally, but we don't condone that. But they will aspire to be like those that do drive, the Hondas or the Japanese JDM trend that we'll cover. Those that are over 20 will be in a financial situation where they can afford to go out and buy, say, JDM cars. But yeah, from here we decided to do questions, and we decided to, say, separate and categorize those that go to the JDM meets. There are those that go with cars and those that go without cars. We need to get individual questions for these types of goers. I'm the person that doesn't have a car, but I will still attend the meets. Jim's the guy that has the car, and he will attend the meets. So, yeah, these are the questions. Yeah.
Now this is just a short footage that we managed to capture and put together by going to one of the meets that was mainly known as a Stance Daily meet in East London, Beckton Triangle. Like I said before, you do have idiots that do tend to wreck the whole scene by doing dumb stuff like this. They just accelerate off and show off how loud their exhausts are, and that's the main part that we're trying to not bring up. Yeah.
But yeah, we can't be biased to not show these. It does come up. It is an issue, but it's an issue that is being sorted. There are less of these idiots that that attend these meets and give a bad name for us. But yeah, they are still out there, so we still need to document it.
My name's VJ Lewin. Yeah, we're part of this JDM scene, so I'm going to talk you through it. So, what is JDM? JDM is a Japanese domestic market. It's basically people who like Japanese cars with the standard OEM parts. That's what they do. So, what is the view on JDM? JDM, the views are people like it, like OEM. OEM is just the OEM parts from the factory, such as front lip, back lip, exhaust, wheels. The modifications I've got this right now is, I'll start with interior. That's DC5 radio carros. It's got the OEM mono with type R steering wheel. It's got a Mugen replica front lip, grille and carbon spoiler. It's got a Siemens carbon boot. It's got a K20, it's got a Jackson Racing Supercharge, 3-inch big pipe. It's got PBS RS2, 9-inch deep dish wheels, split rims. It's got a JDM wing mirror. Right now we host our own meet at Beckton. It's called the Stance Daily meet. It's every last Saturday of the month, and basically it's just here for everyone to socialise. And sometimes there's like meets in South Mint, which is held like 3 times a year, and that's a big one for the UK. But really, we want to get big like America, USA. So that's it.
And as you see from, he's like a main owner of like this group that they created, the Stance Daily group, and he's just talking about like how they want to progress onwards. So from UK they want to progress on to like the US, like HelloFlush. HelloFlush is a big group from America that is now worldwide. There's people in Japan. There's people, some people in the UK that are doing these sort of meets now. As you can see from his car, he's a flashy guy. He likes to flash his car. He's got a bright yellow car, and he talks a lot about it. And not just that, like he'll show everyone like what he's got under the hood. And because his car is unique, he's got a supercharger. And what a supercharger is, it just boosts your horsepower to another level. So far, VJ Nguyen is the guy who has the fastest Honda Civic in the UK at the moment, as we speak, the EP shape. Yeah.
From that test footage, we got well, we spoke about, say, the advantages and disadvantages from these meets. For example, say there was a few shaky camera movements, so we decided that if we were to go to another meet, that we need to be like more equipped or more ready for any situation. There was, say, lighting issues when the test footage was first being played. When he was speaking, the car interior light was on, but then as we went along, the car interior light went off and you couldn't really see his face. That could be an issue, but it's not a major issue, but it's still an issue that we should be well prepared for or have a contingency plan for. But yeah.
Constraints. Now for this, the equipment that we're going to use is as I own a camera. I have a 600D, so we only need about one more camera, so we'll probably get another 550D from the school or something, and have 2 cameras running on the day of any other meets that are coming up. We'll probably also have like a little light, so that things like this don't happen where we're filming and then the light just cuts out. We can't see the guy's face no more. It becomes like a criminal-looking guy, and we don't want that.
For, say, travel expenses, well, Jimmy has a car, so we'll be pitching in for fuel, or say to keep up with these guys that go to these meets or go to wherever we need to be. By Jimmy having his car, it's kind of open doors to us. We're not, say, limited to, say, public transport. We can go wherever we want, however we want, for how long we want. We're not limited by that.
Also, we could carry as much equipment as we want in the car, so it helps us out quite a bit.
Time and personal resources. Filming and editing. These constraints are, say, like they're as big an issue as we want them to be. They can be limited. Filming and editing, filming it is not difficult. We know when these meets are going to be due to social websites such as Facebook or the full rooms, as Jimmy stated before. Editing shouldn't be difficult if we get enough footage of these meets. Plus, we decided after the test footage to bring in archive footage of, say, cars that are going to the meets, or, say, in America, just to get a wider variety of cars from, say, US to Japan, anywhere, just so the audience can get a better understanding of the type of cars that attend these types of meets. Yeah, the legal issues, say, we have to be factual, but this shouldn't be an issue if we're just going to be opinion-based. We're going to be asking questions towards those that go to these car meets. They may be driving cars, or they may just be spectators. But when you're trying to be factual, you can't be wrong if it's your opinion. So in that aspect, we're not like bringing up any legal issues. We can't be biased when it comes to filming or editing. So any bits like, say, the criminal-ish type of driving that we saw in the test footage, we have to document it. We can't just leave it aside and just say, oh yeah, this is JDM meets, this is how it is, it's all perfect. It's not like that. It's nearing, but it's not like that at the moment. For our project, we decided to have the age rating between 16 and 25, and then this will these inflict on the legal and ethical issues, such as the Section 1 protecting under 18s. We can't really be influencing them to do wrongdoings. We don't condone any of the criminal activity that we may publish or broadcast. But we have to ensure that we don't do that, because anybody that's under 18 is like highly influenced by what they see from the media. As I said before, crime, we mustn't lead. We mustn't we mustn't condone any of the crime that we see, and we don't. We have to be fairness. So everybody that we interviewed, they knew what the purpose was for. They knew it was a school project. They knew everybody would be seeing it. They knew it would be on YouTube. And harm and offence, we can't mislead the audience either. So that's why we had to include the criminal activity or the racing that we saw on the test footage. This is the schedule.
Yeah, our schedule started at 10th. Well, December, basically, around December 2012, and we hope to finish this project by
10th
of April, hopefully, if it all goes to plan and all the meets that pop up. Because now, recently, now it's coming to the summertime, you've got quite a lot of meets coming up. So the biggest one, as VJ said earlier, is South Mim. South Mim is a meet that is strict. You have to give in your license and registration, you have to give in your name, your car, and everyone that's in your car. So if anyone does any stupidity, you get kicked straight out, you get banned, you get reported to the police, and they get dealt with.
Yeah.
So from that, everyone's trying to slowly move up and progress from South Mims. And South Mims basically is the UK's largest Honda meet, and that can range from thousands of cars coming into taking over a B&Q car park or home-based car park and just run the show. And you do have people there. You do have underage people, but they get a chance to see what the car culture is like nowadays. You see how people before you see people doing crazy stuff to their cars. You see vinyl stickers, big body kits, but now everyone's trying to keep it simple. They keep keeping it OEM clean look, just stock body parts and just change the wheels. That's it. And yeah, that's it really. That's our presentation. Any questions, anyone? Yes, yeah.
Oh, just one question. For people like me who don't know much about cars, how will you make it clear when you talk about all these modifications and technology during the documentary?
Oh, so for stuff like that, we'll basically tell the owner of the car to shortly explain what the parts are.
Yeah.
And so
if there are any abbreviations or any parts that a mainstream audience member might not know, we'll ensure that either there are captions there to let you know what it is, or let the owner explain it, like Jimmy said.
Yeah. Oh, Ms. Logan.
If you say that in order to present an accurate portrayal of this particular scene, you need to include the footage of the people that you describe as idiots.
Yeah.
How are you going to tell your audience that you don't condone that and that the scene doesn't condone that?
Well, we'll probably add a little caption in the video saying, warning, do not attempt this or do not do this at me. So just to keep it clear.
Most of the owners that we do speak to say we went to a Blue Water meet. What day was the Blue Water meet?
That was around October, correct?
Yeah, but all of the owners that we interviewed said they rung up this issue that we're speaking about, that we brought up. They don't condone it. They don't idolize it. They just, it's not part. We don't want it to be a part of the community. So the owners will clarify that.
So in their interviews,
they will say
clearly.
And not just that, on forums and stuff, they put it clearly on the forums,
And how are you going to let us know that?
Yeah, well, it's true. We'll probably tell the interviewer to just speak it out and say that what's the...
So you're not using any voiceover?
No.
Yeah. Any more questions?
Thank you very much.